Hi, welcome to Please Like This. I'm Valentina.
And I'm Mark.
And today we're talking about the 1989 film When Harry Met Sally, a movie about New York, love, and whether men and women can actually be friends. Right? That was a little good,
I like
right?
that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I thought about it beforehand.
Oh.
That's why it's good.
Oh, we're prepping. We're getting professional all of a sudden.
Hold on, my mom's calling.
Oh,
This always happens.
As soon as I
this
said...
is classic When Harry Met Sally.
Hold on, let me just text her real quick.
As soon as I said the words, we're getting professional now. My mother is calling. Oh no, I left the oven on.
Please like this. Please like this. Please like this.
Shut up. I just got a text her. I called her this morning. She said she would call me back, and she never did. So this is her calling me back.
Wow.
Hi. Can't talk. Recording an episode.
It's not even texting if you say it out loud.
We don't need to be brought in on the relationship between you and your mother.
Texting is
Valentine.
silent.
Texting is silent.
I speak things so that I can think it.
Okay, thinking is also silent.
It's classic When Harry Met Sally.
Oh my god. So today we're talking about When Harry Met Sally. I personally love this movie, but it's actually not my pick. Today we're bringing in our cute cuckoo kazoo friend, Emily Wirth, who requested specifically to be called cute. And
Valentina
this is
added
actually
cuckoo
her
kazoo. Valentina took liberties with cuckoo
Which
kazoo.
I did not ask for.
We're bringing in our friend Emily to
Yeah.
talk about When Harry Met Sally. She loves this movie. I love this movie. I feel like this movie is, like, honestly kind of foundational for our friendship. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think I have a memory of us.
Yeah, we've seen it together.
I was thinking about it today when I was watching it. In Chicago, we saw it.
Yeah. So Mark
But-
is the only person who hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I am the one who's not seen this movie.
So Mark- Yeah, I think you should start with your personal experience of it actually first.
Okay. Well, my understanding of this movie. This is like one of the most famous movies ever. I obviously
As it should be.
As it should be.
as like I obviously knew what it was about for the most part. I knew
Harry.
Harry and Sally. I don't know why I missed this movie because I it's just one of those blind spots that I knew was always there and just never got around to. But I really enjoyed this movie.
Good.
I thought it was very, very funny and very, very sweet, but also very melancholy. I mean this in a good way. The movie felt like a cold breeze,
Yeah.
like
They're
a
mostly
slow,
wearing like jeans.
Yeah,
in
like
the
a-
movie.
like a slow cold breeze that just at the right time. It was just
Crisp.
crisp. And obviously, I
Nice.
knew going in, like I knew about some of the scenes. I knew the scene in Katz's Deli.
Oh, what she's having.
Yeah, the diner scene, yeah.
Yeah, where she fakes an orgasm. And then I knew... I also realized that I think I've seen every time there's a shot that's just Meg Ryan's face, I feel like I've seen that.
Yeah.
They've just been around on like Twitter or whatever as reactions or just people posting it. And I think I've seen every time they post it, they cut to a close up that's just her looking at someone. I was like, I've seen this before.
She's got an
She has
interesting mouth.
Yeah.
Yes. She moves her face in such a way that is honestly perfect.
She
I
looks
think.
like a Who from Whoville.
Yes.
Oh.
If
But-
you know Christmas, you know what I'm talking about.
I thought,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my personal experience with the movie.
Well, Mark, honestly, for like some of our picks, I was unsure of whether you would like it. This one is the one that I was absolutely positive that, like, Mark will love this movie. If he doesn't, we're absolutely not friends anymore. This will be the last episode of the podcast. I can't do it anymore.
Ooh,
but thankfully he loves it. So we can continue.
Okay, good to know that
I was
mean
about
that.
to take over.
Sorry, did not know this was a contingent.
Next is Sleepless in
Contingency.
Seattle. And next, another Meg Ryan movie.
You've got mail.
I have to like Meg Ryan, is what you're
You
saying.
have to like Meg Ryan.
And I do.
I love Meg
She-
Ryan. I don't know.
Like, if it was anybody else, you'd be like, I fucking hate this bitch. Like, she's annoying. She
Yeah.
orders weird.
Oh
she's,
my
like,
God.
picky.
At 9 minutes in, I wrote, I hate both of these people. At 9 minutes in, I wrote down, I hate this man, and I
Yeah.
hate Meg Ryan.
This man.
This man.
Billy Crystal. This man.
Yeah, William Christopher.
William Christopher. Hello.
I obviously love this movie. I grew up watching it like with my mom. It's one of those like TV movies that like was always on TV, and so like we'd be flipping through the channels and it'd be like halfway through and my mom would be like, that one, I like that movie, because sometimes my mom doesn't know what movies she likes until she actually sees it. And then she's like, no, I like this one. She just doesn't remember the names of movies, and she just doesn't remember movies in general until like she's reminded of it.
Oh yeah, when your mom's
And-
like the one, the one with the lady,
Yeah.
the one with the lady and the man.
I
has
will
a
learn
hat.
the name when it proves itself.
Like,
to
I have
me.
had conversations with my mom where I will mention When Harry Met Sally, the name of the movie, and she'll be like, which one is that? And I'm like, we've seen it at least a dozen times together. You've seen it on your own. You love this movie.
You love
But yeah,
this
so
movie.
it was just a movie that I loved growing up. And then in college, when we all met, Emily, I was going through this phase of like just, I've discovered this like room on campus that had printers where so I could print for free and I didn't have to use my like student printing
Oh yeah.
points.
Yeah.
And so I started like printing screenplays of movies that I liked, and
What?
here's When Harry Met Sally.
Oh yeah. Wait, was I there?
I don't remember if you were there for this one, but you've definitely
Me
been
saying,
present
"Oh,
for
yeah."
me printing stuff.
So true. Love that.
You used to
So-
print out whole screenplays on
Yeah.
government property?
No, Valentina, you gave me that
Yeah,
to borrow. Remember?
I did. No, wait, did I print out a copy for you?
Yes. I
Yeah.
have something.
We used that room all the time. Or I
Either that-
specifically.
Or this script is like always in your car. And it was just like,
Maybe.
it was like if you're going to the bathroom and you're like, I have nothing to do. That was like sitting in your car. I would like be like, oh, that's cool. You have scripts.
When was this? Were we friends at this point, Valentina? Or was this when I hated you?
Yes, this was. Well, glad that's on mic. I thought you were the one who never hated me, Mark, but okay.
I disliked you and found you annoying, but now we're great friends.
Anyway, so yeah, like Emily, when I went through this phase of like just printing every screenplay that I loved, I also printed like Legally Blonde and like Lady Bird and like
Lady Bird, that's the one you had in your car.
yeah, I had a few,
No.
but we. But anyway,
I
we
have 5
all
minutes
went...
alone in the car. I better cry. Let me bring out Ladybird.
Shut up! I'm sorry. It was in night.
Apologize for your feelings.
I apologize.
I'm not gonna apologize for my feelings. I'm apologizing for the way that it made you all feel when we were stressed and looking for the hotel. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Wait, we have to say for backstory. We are on the
no, let's
car
not.
ride from
fine,
Florida,
okay.
the great state of Florida, to Atlanta.
Yes.
And to, may I say, an improv tournament.
Yep.
Because we were on the way. And,
cool.
and
That
Valentina
I was not
has
performing
downloaded.
it.
Valentina's not performing it.
No,
but she's
Valentina
a
came to watch because
great
she's
friend.
a supportive friend.
She's a supportive friend.
Yes.
And she had downloaded Lady Bird for the trip.
The movie Lady Bird.
The movie Lady Bird about a mother and daughter relationship, which seems to strike a chord. Let's not read into that.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. And then
Things were getting stressed because we were getting into Atlanta proper. There was traffic.
Proper.
It was nighttime. Cars were everywhere. And
I
were
was
trying
driving?
No. Amy was driving.
Yes, you were driving at that point.
I was driving
That
because
was
I
after
remember
we-
Amy was like, I don't like driving in the city. And I was like, well, I just like doing things that other people don't like doing. So I was like, I'll drive. And I was a little chaotic as a driver. We were weaving in and out of like lanes. And Valentina cracks open her laptop, Lady Bird.
And
No, okay.
and the
I know she
specific
had
thing
been
she did-
watching it.
She'd been watching it for. She'd been watching the full thing, and so at the end of Lady Bird, spoiler alert for Lady Bird.
Spoiler.
We are
gosh.
not talking about currently.
If you haven't seen Lady Bird, skip ahead.
Skip ahead. How Lady met Bird.
I just like
Valentina, on the way in, everyone is yelling at each other trying to figure out the way to the hotel because it was confusing in the middle of downtown Atlanta and heavy traffic. And in the middle of this, while everyone is trying to help and get things together, Valentina started pausing through the individual letters that Lady Bird's mother had tried to write to her daughter as they were going to college and was sobbing in the back seat of the car.
Didn't you have
sobbing.
headphones on so like we couldn't hear the movie? But,
No,
like all we heard was
yeah.
We just heard her sobbing in the back of the car. And we were like, what is happening, Valentina? Are you scared because of the traffic? And she was like, no.
No.
I'm reading each of these individual letters by stopping the movie every millisecond.
I'm like, let me give you a
Okay.
hint. They were not meant to be read. It's
No.
a quick scene.
No.
They had to come up with something super fast.
Yo. Yeah, so whoever
They were
prop
good.
master.
They were written.
whatever prop master wrote those letters, someone appreciated your handiwork.
Someone appreciated it. Definitely wasn't Greta.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Boom.
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 Fuck you, Greta
Anyway.
Gerwig.
To clarify, I didn't download this movie just for the trip. I had like a few movies on my computer and I had already watched something else and then I watched this one and like the movie's an hour and a half exactly. And so as we were getting into Atlanta is when I like finished the movie and then but we still had like a half hour left of driving because
You
looking
finished
for this
the
place.
movie and
Yeah.
went back.
Then you went back.
I went back and like looked for because the thing is like every time I watch that movie I like watch it from a different perspective and that time I was watching from the mom's perspective and so
Or like
I was
the Christmas tree
already
in the
crying.
Christmas scene.
When I saw that movie with my
I
mom,
was already crying and
My
then
mom
I
said-
went back.
when I saw that movie with my mom, she said, ugh, what a terrible daughter-mother relationship. And we walked out of the theater. She said, ugh, happy we're not like that. And I'm like,
I said the same thing when I saw Mother exclamation point.
glad we're nothing like that. Let's go. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Me and my mom both in our high heels. Click-clacked out of that theater.
Hold on, y'all interrupted me with that stupid Atlanta story and so
Can't just leave everyone
I
hanging.
I was saying that like when the follow-up to that Atlanta trip was the National College Improv Tournament and when we went to Chicago in our Airbnb with like 17 people, Emily and I were in a room together and so we watched, there was a night that like everybody else was doing their own thing and we were tired. I think it was the night that we got in and
I
so
almost
we
said
watched When Harry
it
Met
was New Year's
Sally.
Eve. I was like, that's not possible. Yeah.
But, like, we watched When Harry Met Sally in the Airbnb, and we fell asleep to it. Or at least I did. I don't remember if you did.
watching National Treasure or something like that for, like, the 10,000th time. And I'm like, it's
Yeah,
not
they were doing something dumb. So, I find this movie to be, like, this is a nice memory that I have of our friendship, like, talking about this movie and then watching this movie and stuff. So, Emily, what is your experience with this movie before that time that we watched it?
Well, I think the same. I think it's a nice,
Aww.
like, because I do think of our trip to Chicago where, like, everyone else was doing something, but, like, I didn't want to do truly anything but sit in bed and watch a movie, even though we were like, we're in Chicago. Because it was, like, super cold outside. It was really cozy. And I was like, I just need to watch something that feels, like, nice and warm to my heart. So
yeah, our planes got delayed, so we landed in Chicago at, like, 10 p.m. And so we got to the Airbnb super late. We ordered pizza. Emily was just like, I want to sit in bed and watch a movie. I was just like, I want to sit in bed and go to sleep.
I was like, we share a room. Let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like, that movie, like, I was just like, that's, like, the most cozy movie I could think of. It's the most comfortable movie for me, like, that I could throw on whenever. And I'm just like, that I'll pay attention to. Like, the most comfortable movie that I'll pay attention to, because most movies I can be like, clock, turn it on, and then be like, let me do something else. But, like, I'm like, oh, let me just watch this and feel nice. But my mom also, I watched it a lot with my mom. She showed it to me. She loves this movie. It was, like, the first movie that she showed me that she was like, oh, I can't wait for you to watch this. And then she's like, oh, God, I hope she loves it. And then, like, because we usually don't watch movies together. It's usually, like, my whole family or, like, my stepdad or, like, my sister or my brother or something like that. But it was the first movie, like, her and I watched together, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
that's nice.
that was nice. And we were both like, that was amazing. But she hadn't seen it. So she was like, I know. But, yeah, it just holds a nice little place in me heart.
Okay. So, spoiler-free review. We all loved it.
Loved it.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen this movie, go watch this movie. And then come on
It's on
back.
HBO Max now.
I can't believe if you haven't seen this movie, you haven't seen this movie.
I can't believe if you haven't seen this movie, you haven't seen this movie.
It's like, if you're like, I like casual viewings. I like rom-com. This is like a true rom-com where, like, Jennifer Lopez is not in it.
Yeah.
Which is the only
A
downside.
true rom-com. No J-Lo. You know, I saw the
J-Lo.
Super Bowl this year, and I said, this is not a rom-com.
Not a rom-com.
J-Lo's here.
You said, where's her love interest? And she went, I don't need one.
And then Shakira came out, and I was like, I guess that's the love interest.
Oh, no. Okay.
Sorry,
Well-
we all loved it.
Yeah.
Yes. I just want to say, though, I have one thing before we, like, get too deep into our thoughts. So, I personally, I bought this movie this summer, or, like, this year, whenever, because there was this company, Shout Factory. They are a distribution company and stuff. They put out a 30th anniversary edition of this movie with a whole bunch of special features with, like, a commentary with there's one commentary with Nora Ephron, Rob Reiner, and Billy Crystal on it. There's, like, a bunch of things that they shot, like, last year with Billy Crystal and Rob Reiner, like, 30 years later, and they're, like, reflecting on their friendship and stuff. And
I feel like they were like,
I have
we
talked
can't
about this
invite
before.
Meg Ryan.
No,
like-
there's stuff with Meg Ryan on it too.
I feel like if she saw it, she would have just been like, oh yeah, like if Billy Crystal's like, remember when we did this? Like,
Oh,
she's
wow.
like,
Wow, your Billy Crystal's amazing. Oh my god. I loved when Billy Crystal played the Cowardly Lion. It was amazing work he did.
he is high energy though, but Meg Ryan would be like, yeah, that's nice. Like she's like always like, okay, in 5 minutes I'm gonna tell them I have to leave. Like, she's that kind of person. I picture her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Definitely.
She's like, something comes up and she's like, I can't leave yet. So
Yeah.
they're like,
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, it has a bunch of special features on it. It's very cool, and I like it a lot. And because Emily, like, this is such, like, I think of this movie as important to our friendship.
Yeah.
I tried to send you a copy of this Blu-ray, and it's in the mail now.
You
coming
did?
To you.
Oh my god!
But it's
Valentina.
It got delayed. So I was hoping that it would get to you before we recorded, so that you would be able to watch some of the special features.
Oh my god! It's like my
But
freaking birthday.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
it's like
nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, that's really nice.
Aw.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I-
I can't wait.
I don't know what to say.
That's really sweet.
That's really nice that you did that for your friend.
Not Mark.
Okay, Mark, well, I wasn't sure how much you would like this movie. I don't know if you would actually appreciate, like, all the special features and stuff. And,
No, I will never watch any of the special features.
yeah, I didn't think you would, to be quite honest.
I'll forget about it. I'll put it down and leave it somewhere. I will never.
And I know Emily will. And, like,
I can't wait. Thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah.
there's a bunch of stuff with Billy Crystal and Nora Ephron and Rob Reiner where they, like, explain where a lot of the bits come from. Like, there's one thing is, like, when they're at the football game towards the beginning,
And the wave.
yeah, and doing the wave, and, like, Harry is telling this story about, like, how he's separated from his wife and everything, and the wave keeps coming.
Oh,
That
she says,
was a sketch.
I don't know if I've ever
that-
loved you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
That was a sketch that Rob Reiner wrote for a comedy show that he used to work for in the 60s that I can't remember right now.
SNL?
Saturday Night Live.
No, the 60s.
Second.
I don't know.
City.
Whatever.
This
Anyway,
wasn't a sketch that Billy Crystal. That wasn't a sketch that Billy Crystal wrote for SNL.
maybe it was. There were some things that, like, were failed sketches that Rob Reiner wrote for some of his old shows and that Billy Crystal wrote for some of his old shows. And I can't remember exactly now which ones are which. But anyway, the point is there a lot of, like, that stuff is on the DVD that I thought Emily would appreciate. So I'm
That,
sending it to her.
I can't
And,
wait.
like, yeah, so...
Is it your copy or did you send me like my own copy?
No, I got you another one.
Oh my god. Oh. And my computer
I'm
still
not giving
has
up
like,
my copy. No.
I don't know. I thought you were like, let me lend it to you, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm less excited. I want a brand new one.
How sweet, you gave me a chore.
Well, I mean,
said
I should
clean
have,
this.
honestly, that probably would have been the better option because it would have come to you by now, but...
But now I have
don't know.
one.
Yeah,
I was
you
actually,
will, eventually.
I did look on the web. Valentina sent me it on, you texted me like the website that you're talking about where you got this.
I did.
And yeah, you did. And you were like, oh, like I
Oops.
got mine for like $22. And I was like, it's on sale right now for like $16. And you're like, interesting. Did you send it after that?
Yes, because I forgot that happened. I sent it
I was
like,
maybe I'll get it.
yeah, I sent it like a week and a half ago, and I was texting with Jacob to get your address.
Oh, really?
Oh, you were texting her
Yeah.
boyfriend?
That sneaky pup.
So Jacob knows about it, and if you've like talked about it, maybe he's lied to you in the past week and a half. I don't know.
No, I should wait, and then I should be like, it should be here, and I'd be like, what is this? And I'll be like, Valentina sent it. I'm like, I don't like this movie. I'll be like, can you throw this away? And I'll be
Just
like,
totally
"Emily."
gaslight him.
Yeah. I'll be like, whatever you did to get this, I want to break up.
Oh no.
No, I would never say that. Because I'm in love. Okay.
Okay, so I guess important stuff to know about this movie. It came out in 1989, directed by Rob Reiner, written by Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron.
Woo!
Was it
whoop, whoop,
about
Nora
their
Ephron.
relationship? Or no? Did they date? They dated,
No,
right?
they never dated.
They never dated.
No.
I looked this up the other
I
day.
don't know. Did
Because
they
I
date?
thought,
I
like,
don't think so.
to this day, I was like, oh, they're married. But they're
No.
No.
She
Rob
married
Reiner.
Carl Bernstein.
Yeah.
Carl Bernstein, the one of the two Watergate guys.
What?
Were reporters.
Oh, right,
Reporters.
yes.
Oh, not one of the people who committed Watergate.
No. One of the two. The guy in All the President's Men, played by Dustin Hoffman, was married to Nora Ephron.
Well,
And in the movie, All the President's Men, there's there's a couple moments with Carl Bernstein's wife and stuff.
who is
and that's
Nora Ephron.
Nora Ephron.
Oh, okay.
And they divorced, and the entire time after Watergate, he told his wife who Deep Throat was. So he told Nora Ephron, and Nora Ephron would always at dinner parties be like, "Oh, you want to know who Deep Throat is? It's this guy." Before, long before the name of Deep Throat was released.
Wow, what a life.
Yeah.
What a
And then
cool life.
And then he cheated on her. She was heartbroken. They got divorced. And she wrote a novel, Heartburn, about it, and which is brilliant. She's a fantastic writer, obviously. And then
How do you know?
and then Rob Reiner directed the movie based on her book, Heartburn, starring Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a very good movie. I recommend it. It's not the best Nora Ephron written movie or anything, but it's still
Well, she was
it's
hurting.
good, and it's short, and it's
at the
Meryl
beginning.
Streep's crying and stuff, and Jack Nicholson is being Jack Nicholson. It's good. I like it. And so that started the Rob Reiner Nora Ephron friendship, and then I think Rob Reiner wanted to make a movie about this with Billy Crystal, and they got Nora Ephron to write it.
Because they didn't want just a male's perspective on relationships.
Yeah, they wanted a female perspective, and so Rob Reiner was like, "Well, I'm friends with one of the best New York writers in the world, so let's call Nora Ephron in," and they wrote one of the best movies ever.
Yeah.
It was written very collaboratively with between Rob Reiner and Billy Crystal. Initially, they had written a bunch of the story, and then the actual screenplay was written by Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron, and this guy Andrew Scheinman did also have some help
Okay.
at some point, but he's not I don't think too much, he wasn't credited too much
Okay.
There's another
because he's
Billy
not always
Crystal.
credited.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
There's another Billy Crystal movie where he wrote and directed it. Forget Paris.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but you're
It's good.
definitely Billy Crystal has written every single line, because it's always doo-doo-doo, poosh, doo-doo-doo,
Yeah.
poosh. And
They
the girl's
always- yeah.
Billy, oh, that's not his name, character, and he goes, what, ba-da-ba-ba, and it's
Yeah.
if
What? My
so-
opinions. What? My
it's
more opinions. What? Stand up? What?
Yeah, he's nothing serious, ba-da-doo, and then it's that's the movie. This is what when Harry Met Sally could have been if no one stopped him.
No, it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, I think honestly the way this movie comes out is so I mean, I don't know about that fourth guy because we don't know how much he contributed.
We don't
but
know.
with Nora Ephron and Rob Reiner and Billy Crystal, this movie truly could have been a disaster. There's just so much.
Yeah.
There's so many personalities and different ideas on comedy coming together in a way that really could have failed. But just everything
Well balanced.
Yeah, everything sings.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is if it was just Rob Reiner and Billy Crystal, I feel like it could have been much more in the Forget Paris direction.
It would have been
Yeah.
so
than in
stupid.
the perfect screenplay direction.
Yeah.
I think it'd be outdated.
Yeah.
While I was watching this movie, it wasn't outdated, but if it was just the men, I think it would absolutely be outdated.
Yeah.
And I also think that because of Nora Ephron, this movie did a lot of things, had many discussions that I was like, oh, is this the first time a movie is having these really frank conversations about
I think this was the first movie to like explicitly say, can men and women be friends? But it's not the first to like ask that question.
No, but
it's the first to like state it.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And now there's a ton of movies that are like trying to be When Harry Met Sally.
Yes,
like,
that's what
one of my favorites, Sleeping with Other People, that actually is a good imitation. It's a good attempt at being When Harry Met Sally.
I wrote that down, that this movie feels, it's one of those things where I've never seen this movie, but I've watched a lot of things of people who have seen this movie and loved this movie, and you can feel it in the genre. The aftershocks that this movie had on not movies as a whole, but also the rom-com genre in specific is I felt it even just watching it.
The thing is, there's no like Sally turning her head and like her eyes are all sparkly and like Billy Crystal's like, do I love this girl? And it's not like, it's like whenever that happens, it happens one time in the movie. Yeah. And they're in the museum, and it's when she's like, I have a date. And he goes, oh, you have a date? And then she's like, yeah, I have a date. And then she walks away. I
wasn't sure if I should tell you.
Yeah. No. And then she walks away and he goes, hey, you look really good in skirts. You should wear skirts more often. And then she's like, and then it's like 2 seconds. And then she goes, I think you should get that out there too, Harry. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she's like, it cuts immediately. And it's like, she's like,
it's so subtle.
You should do something too. Yeah. Which is nice because it's like, it could be annoying. It's annoying at other rom-coms.
Well, no, it's really nice. This is one of those movies like Casablanca, which is featured in the movie, like The Godfather, like whatever, that are such
titans.
Like big titans in pop culture in general, that like even if you have not seen this movie from start to finish, you have seen like that diner scene. Who does not know that scene? Like the I'll have what she's having scene. Like there are just so many jokes in this movie that people know.
Mom.
Yeah, the woman who delivers that line post a fake orgasm in the middle of a restaurant is Rob Reiner's
I love what she's having.
It's Estelle Reiner.
Estelle. Take me on a trip I like.
Well, do we want to do?
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to do like a quick plot rundown? Just so
let's do that.
Okay, you do the plot rundown. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, and I'll be right back. But like,
do we want to do like a break then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Quick break.
So, ready? Break. I'm muting my mic.
What if I do a quick rundown? Okay, now that Mark and Valentina have left, here is a quick rundown of When Harry Met Sally. So first off, for starters, great music to start it off. So we have the title sequence, which is cool. Harry and Sally are driving to New York from Chicago to live there forever. Harry's making out with his girlfriend, and Sally is driving him because she's going there at the same time, and she's friends with the girl that Harry's making out with. She honks. She says, excuse me. And then the girl goes, oh, hi, Sally. And then Harry's like, see you later. And she goes, call me when you get there. He goes, sure. And he gets in the car with Sally. They drive to New York from Chicago, which they get into a lot of shenanigans during this time. So the first thing is they stop at a diner, and then they go in, of course, they walk on in. And they walk on in the diner. They order. Sally's very specific about how she orders. Harry goes, this is weird. And then as the night goes on, he goes, actually, it's kind of charming. You're pretty beautiful. And she goes, are you coming on to me? And then he goes, no. And he goes, but you're going with my girl. Okay, wait, Valentina's back. She walked away. Okay, other shenanigans happen. They walk outside. So they go on this long car trip. Cut to 5 years later, they drop, rewind 5 years. They get to New York. She drops Harry off. She goes, well, nice knowing you. We'll never see each other again, they think. Then, cut to 5 years later, Sally's making out in an airport with her new boyfriend. Along comes Harry. Harry's staring at them as they make out. And you're like, oh my gosh, he recognizes Sally. They both turn. They stop making out. They both turn. And they look at Harry. And he goes, oh, Joe. And you realize it's not for Harry. He knows the guy. So he says, oh, Joe. Mark's back.
What?
Mark, you're going to hear that I've been doing a full recap of the movie. I'm at the point. Valentina's going to hear it too.
Okay, let me get my hat.
He goes, oh, Joe. Valentina, are you back?
What? Hello.
I've been doing a
Yes, I think
full
so.
recap of the movie.
Are you kidding me? No, you have not.
Wait,
I
can
don't
I
know, Emily,
finish my recap?
Oh gosh. Okay, go ahead. Whatever. Sure.
Okay, so they go to the airport. Harry goes, oh, Joe, I know you. And then Harry's staring at him the whole time.
We are not far in.
And he goes,
You are.
Emily, I thought you were like halfway done. I thought you were gonna be like, and Carrie Fisher and like Jess already got married. Like,
okay, wait, I'll be quick towards the end. So he goes, oh, Joe. Sally's staring at Harry the whole time. And then he goes, have you met my girlfriend, Harry? Sally, have you met my, have you met my
Mark,
girlfriend,
remember
Sally?
when we said we were gonna do shorter recaps?
And Harry's like,
She does it.
I don't know this girl. But he's like, I think I know her. Cut to the plane. Sally is sitting in front of Harry. She orders a Bloody Mary very specifically. And Harry lurches over the chair.
Oh no, Valentina! She
And he
found
goes-
the script you printed out for her, and she's just
She's
reading
doing
it.
a full reenactment of this movie.
He goes, Sally Albright, I knew it was you. She goes, hello, Harry. Anyway, the guy that she's sitting next to switches seats with Harry, so they're sitting next to each other. Cut to, they chit-chat. Cut to, they go in like this long, like when you're walking in the airport, but there's an option to like not walk. There's an option just to like ride along.
Moving
A
sidewalk.
moving sidewalk.
There's a moving sidewalk. So they're both on there. And the funny part about this is that she's like, I think we'd better
You
just
are literally
leave
on
it be.
page 10. You're on page 10 of this screenplay.
The rest is going to be really fast. So then, if you guys stop interrupting. So then, after that, Sally goes, I think we should just leave it. And then they walk together. And Harry goes, okay, yeah, sure, we better just leave it. And then the funny part is that they walk together, but they're still, like, on this moving sidewalk. And Harry's like, I'll let you go. And so, like, Sally walks ahead. Anyway, cut to 5 years later. Carrie Fisher is at the table now. Meg Ryan and Joe, whatever, have broke up. And we find this out because Carrie Fisher is like, how's Joe? And she goes, fine, I think. She goes, what happened? He goes, we broke up. It was a long time coming. And then Carrie Fisher gets out her Rolodex, goes through her Rolodex, grabs someone and goes, how about this guy? And then the other woman in the movie, I don't know her name.
Alice.
Sure.
Her character's name is Alice.
Alice.
I know that.
Alice is like, come off it. So Meg Ryan is like, oh, I'm not dating. Carrie Fisher is like, I'm having sex with like a married man. Anyway. And they're like, that's not your boyfriend. Anyway. Cut to, stuff goes on. They're in a bookstore. Meg Ryan sees Harry. And, Harry goes to a baseball game. His wife just broke up with him. She never loved him. Anyway, cut to a bookstore. They're both there. They see each other. And then they talk. And Carrie Fisher's like, I'm going to leave you alone. Harry and Sally are talking. They go to dinner. They're friends. They're being friends now. And then they're best friends. They're hanging out all the time. Blind date. Harry's set up with Carrie Fisher. Meg Ryan set up with his friend. They don't work. They don't work is the thing. Carrie Fisher and the other guy do work. There's a funny scene with a cab. So they're still, Harry and Sally are still not together. Cut to, time's gone by. They sleep together. Harry and Sally sleep together.
Okay, Emily. You spend 20 minutes on the first 10 minutes of the movie. The entire second act is, like, cut out completely. You're at the, like, end of the second act now. Okay.
Okay. No, okay, I'll stop. They end up together. Cut to New Year's Eve, they end up together. How about that? And that's when Harry met Sally. And Harry goes, Sally, I've known you my whole life, but I feel like I've just met you. Wouldn't that be a good line in that?
Are you doing Punch Up? Are you doing Punch Up for a movie that came out 30 years ago?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Might I add, we are all drinking?
Yes, we are. I got a second beer.
I forgot. I'll have what she's having. I forgot that part.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because you cut out the entire second act in your recap. So this movie is just perfect. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, so many of these things, it's a perfectly constructed movie where everything is calling back to something else that was already mentioned in the movie. And, like, there's no balls dropped. Like, everything gets picked back up.
And it's not a simple movie. It's not like, it's not just a trite, or, because you can make there's a lot of very good movies that aren't exactly special. But this movie is special because it takes a lot of risks and they all just work. And it does something that no movie has done before it.
It goes through the steps instead of being like, and then we fell in love.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this happened and then this had to happen. Our relationship is actually kind of complicated.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't romanticize love. It romanticizes friendship.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. But then you're like, oh, but if I do have, like, a friend that I'm really close with, are we going to fall in love?
Yeah.
And it's like, not always, honey.
I thought that immediately.
Sweetie.
Yeah.
Chickadee. Not always.
But yeah, like, so it is always asking this question of, like, can men and women be friends? And I think the
answer is no.
I think the answer is no, but I don't think the
it's why we're not
ever
friends.
Takes a full position on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not friends.
No. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer
Valentina,
is yes. Men and women
we're not
can
friends.
be friends.
Valentina, we're not friends.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm a man and you're a woman.
Count. I don't think we count.
Why? Why does it not count?
Why, Mark? Because you're not attracted to me.
Well, I guess we're just putting it out there.
Mark just said the other day he was very attracted to me. He just said the other day.
I texted it to her out of the blue.
And I said, Mark, now I'm in the bath.
But yeah, like I do think men and women can be friends. I think it's just
there's like actually no rules.
It's hard for some people that like they do let that sexual thing get in the way. Yeah. For like straight
I also
men
think
and women, or like men and women who are attracted to men and women.
Yeah.
But
I also think times change. Like I think it was probably harder. It was much less common for a man to be friends with a platonic woman and a platonic man to be friends with each other in like the 80s than it is now. Yeah,
but I also do like that is a question that gets asked a lot even now. I mean, like
still.
Yeah, it's not I do think it is an eternal question. The
it'll always be relevant.
Around it change, but the question itself will never change. So, but yeah, I mean, do y'all genuinely think men and women can be friends?
Yeah.
I think they can. I think you have to reach like a level of like, I guess like maturity to be like, I could be friends with whoever I want to be friends with. Yeah. Or you can be a little sneaky
and I think that's what the movie is
saying. With whoever you want. It's
fun
for
sneaky
some people.
flirt. Mm-hmm.
But I think
some ugly people.
Some ugly people. Like, it's fun.
That like these two people could not be friends until they like grew on their own.
Yeah. My favorite part of the movie was when Harry's like, and that's like she like mentioned that she went to like Michigan State, and that reminded me of Helen. And then Sally's like, oh, did Helen go to Michigan State? And he goes, no, she went to Northwestern. But they're both Big Ten schools.
They're in the same college football conference.
So there's like a lot of like really great like little bits that are all throughout the movie that you're like, oh, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, another thing about this movie, it does kind of read like a series of sketches or stand-up bits that have just been like meticulously put together.
Tied together by Sally.
Yeah.
Which is,
Like it feels like a lot of like
straight couple relationship.
Yeah.
Well, no, and honestly, no. But even Sally's like it feels like a lot of the group scenes feel like sketches, feel like comedy sketches that you could see on SNL without context.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
then
that double
all
date
of the
scene,
Harry, I'm not done.
I was including one
not
thing to be a
done.
part of your statement. I'm
No.
sorry.
No.
I can go.
not
I can
done.
leave. Would you like me to? I can leave this Zoom meeting.
Hello, I am the new host of this podcast.
Hey everybody, this is my Grid Media Res. Yes, I recommend this movie. I'm leaving now.
No. Valentina's walking off. Andy, go get her. Andy Cohen,
Andy Cohen.
go get her. A lot of the big group scenes feel like sketches that you could see on SNL or Mad TV or whatever. And then a lot of Harry, Billy Crystal's talking bits feel like stand-up. And I feel like Sally's bits, where she's talking about her perspective, feel like a comedic essay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's
Where,
insane
like-
that it all comes together. Yeah, like it just... And it shouldn't
Yeah.
work. There's so many movies that where a stand-up comedian or just a comedian is just saying their viewpoint, and it doesn't work in film.
I
Yeah.
think
It doesn't
the
work in the
characters,
medium.
like,
Yeah.
there's only certain things like Meg Ryan could say that I'd be like, no one else can say that, and it would like float over well. What does she say when she's like on the plane? Was it on the plane? When she's like, wait, I wrote it down.
What did she say?
She's like,
But even that monologue that she gives about the like why she and Joe broke up, that's like Meg Ryan is doing so much in that scene that it's so subtle that like Meg Ryan does such like subtle physical comedy
Yeah.
where she contorts her face in different ways but it's very slow, so it's not like a Jim Carrey thing, but it's also she does things with her hands, and she just like throws like at the wedding when they're arguing and stuff, she's like waving around this like
she puts her
this
hands on her
kebab
hips.
or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, she
yeah.
puts her hands on her hips in a very like important way where she's bringing attention to it but not too much attention.
She knows her body.
Yeah. And it's
also think that,
it's perfect.
I haven't seen much. I realized watching this, I haven't seen much of Meg Ryan's acting. I truly have not seen many Meg Ryan films or anything. And while I was watching this, I was like, she's so gorgeous, and also she's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like there's just the way her face moves is so animated, even in like the smallest moments. That
her
it,
lip connects
Absolutely.
with her nose.
yeah, like her
Yeah.
lip hits her nose, which makes her eye
Makes
move.
her
Like it all
nose
just,
move, yeah.
and it just,
she has that little nose crinkle or like between her eyebrows. Her forehead crinkles, whatever.
Which is
Yeah.
said in the movie.
Mark's actually doing the forehead crinkle now.
yeah, I'm Meg Ryan.
She says the line that I like. She says like,
Yeah.
"You look like a normal person, but actually, you are the angel of death." But she says it like, I'm like, that is such a lame line. But she says it in such like a nice, cool way that I'm like, I believe it. That's funny.
She says it so matter of factly that like you believe it. You're like, yes, Meg Ryan, that's
You're like,
true. Actually, he is the angel of death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite Meg Ryan line reading is when she's talking about like how she had days of the week underpants and they didn't make Sunday, and Harry asks why don't they make Sunday, and she just says because of God. Because of God. Oh, she doesn't say it like that. She says because of God, and they just keep driving.
Yeah.
They cut to him. He's astonished, and then next scene. That's it.
Yeah.
Like no.
Moving on.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and then doesn't he go, "You're actually very pretty."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Yeah.
"You
She's
coming on to me?"
beautiful.
And he goes, "What?" He goes, but you're going with my friend? He goes, yeah. She goes, so you're coming on to me? And he goes, no, I'm not. And he goes, okay, even if I was. And they, like, run into each other. And she goes, ew. And, like, walks
goes
fully
and walks
around the car. Like, doesn't go, like, the
so
easy
good.
way. She walks fully around the car. She goes,
No.
as if.
There's so many little things that she does. Oh my gosh.
Meg Ryan's amazing. And Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal's hot in this movie.
Yeah. The first
He's
thing
hot?
the first
Not.
the first thing I thought was, "Oh no. Billy Crystal is hot to me?" And then especially for the first 5 minutes when he was talking, all I could hear was Mike Wazowski.
Oh, I forgot.
All I could hear was Monsters Inc.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
then I
I've
was
seen
like-
this movie enough where this is what I think of when I hear Billy Crystal's voice, not Mike Wazowski.
Oh no, I kept looking at his like face and body, but imagining a green monster with one eye. And I was like, I'm attracted to this, but also I'm
that's so
picturing
awful.
this. It was a confusing first 5 minutes for me.
Yeah. No, I get it.
This movie made me
Miss New York.
yeah, I got like homesick for New York, which was astonishing for me because I only lived there for I was only there for like a year, and like I want to go back, but yeah.
I mean,
was just
this movie
so-
made me homesick for New York, and I've never been there more than a week. So I've been there twice for 5 days and then a week. Oh yeah, what was your favorite couple?
I liked the
You have
couple.
one?
There was one couple where both of them looked like judges. Like they both looked like they were judges.
Okay.
Oh, was it where he was like, they broke up, and then he was like, he saw
then
her
they got
again
back
at the
together?
funeral?
Yes, I think it's that one.
She goes, 30 years later. They got back together. They're both like,
Yeah.
Or he says
and those
like all
are.
his wives.
Oh yeah, he's like and she's helping him.
He's
Be
goes,
like,
"What's
no,
your
you
name?"
married her.
Mary.
No, there was also Catherine.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
like,
They're
and those-
supposed
I
to
really
be
like the
real,
one-
but they're not. They're not real
yeah,
couples.
I was shocked when I found that out.
Either they're real and every single person became an actor afterwards. I was like, I love this so much. I'm gonna be an
No,
actor.
They
I
got
think
filmed
they're-
and they were like, "This is it."
I think they're based on real stories, or some of
Yeah.
them are based on real stories. I think one of them is the story of how Carl Reiner and Estelle Reiner met. I can't remember which one though.
Is it the one where both couples are talking at the couple is talking at the same time? Because they scared me.
That's my favorite.
I like that one too.
I was terrified.
That was my
thought-
favorite.
When I thought that those were real couples, I was like, someone should check their basement because they've killed someone. I was scared, and they did it together, and they did it
sweet.
together.
They look cute. Both of them are cute.
Yeah, a lot of
But
cute
they
things are murderers.
They grew up next to each other. They like were born in the same hospital, and they never met
They
until
never met.
they never met until they go to
Rode up
Chicago.
9
They're both
extra
like visiting
floors.
Chicago. Yeah, and they're like they meet in
Which
that
is-
elevator.
yeah.
I loved that one. That one
It
was
was a
my
very
favorite.
cute story, though I was scared of them.
No, even the like
They're cute.
filling in
Sure.
the details. They're each filling in the details of the story. That I
Mm-hmm.
really liked that.
Because this was my first time, I think I know because I know when I like rewatch movies and stuff that I love, then I really start focusing on the little things, and like little lines. So I feel like because it's my first watch, all the big stuff I was really hit by, and I am just shocked that the scene at Cat's Deli actually stands up.
Yeah.
Like it is so quotable because it is maybe one of the best comedic performances by
I've seen
everyone
this movie
involved.
maybe like 30 times, legitimately. And that scene still holds up every time. I laughed today when I watched it.
I was watching today, and Jacob was in the next room on a phone call with like his boss. And
Oh, no.
like I was like, it was like turned up pretty loud, and I was like, oh god, I gotta mute this. I was like, and like our remote controller goes like really slow. You like you have to like double click it if you want to like turn down the volume. So like, because she was like, ooh,
As she was starting,
yeah.
It goes on for so long. Like, it's...
no.
when people recreate it for like commercials or whatever, they just do like they just do like 5 seconds of it or something, but she goes on for like a full 2 minutes or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a little much.
Also like someone would say something. No one would just be looking. Someone would absolutely be like, "You okay?
Hey, lady."
Hey, lady.
Yeah.
I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. I'll be like,
Oh my God.
Your fucking mouth.
Yeah,
right
I'd be
now.
like, oh my God, we're in public. Also,
I walk out.
Yeah. Also, it seems like I loved it. It didn't seem entirely in her character to be comfortable doing that.
I feel like she was like sort of just showing Harry, but like it wasn't for everyone. Like it was sort of just like for him.
Yeah.
Maybe it was also like a little wink to be like, see, that's what baby. that's what I'm like in bed.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Another scene I was going to say that I love. Well, Mark, have you seen either Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail?
Well, baby, I watched them both back to back after watching this movie.
You did?
What? Yay!
I
Was it your
did.
first time watching all three?
Yes.
Isn't Tom Hanks good?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
Oh, yum.
Let me lick all my fingers.
So You've Got When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle, and You've Got Mail are the three, like, that's the Meg Ryan, Nora Ephron triumvirate, you know?
Yeah, that's the Mount Rushmore of Nora Ephron movies.
Yeah, honestly. And
Sleepless in Seattle is so good too.
yeah.
And Rosie.
Sleepless in Seattle's so good. Rosie O'Donnell and Carrie Fisher are the best friends in movies. What I was going to say about the, like, 3 Meg Ryan, Nora Ephron movies is that in each of them, there's a very awkward dinner, quote-unquote, breakup scene. Where, like, in this one, it's the dinner after they have sex, where they're, like, both, this was a mistake, you know? And then in Sleepless in Seattle, they have, Meg Ryan is having dinner with, in that one, it's Bill Pullman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bill Pullman and Sleepless in Seattle, and they, like, and it's on Valentine's Day, and they're like, this isn't really working. And Meg Ryan's like, I have somewhere to be, the Empire State Building, to meet Tom Hanks.
And leaves
his kid.
immediately.
He's really cool about it too.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'd be like, sit down and finish your food.
Yeah.
You're not leaving me.
And then in You've Got Mail, there's the scene with Meg Ryan and Greg Kinnear, the breakup dinner scene, where, like, they're both like, yeah, this isn't working. Like, we need to break up. And then they just, like, talk about other people that they're interested in, that they're both interested in immediately after they've just mutually broken up. And
Nora
so
Ephron,
I just think it's very funny that I
Nora
noticed
Ephron
that this time
feels,
in watching.
Nora Ephron feels like an artist who, if you watch her, if you look at her, if you watch the movies and the things that make up her career, you have a full picture of her as a person.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, she has absolutely been broken up with at a restaurant multiple times, and it was awkward, and she includes it in everything she does. Like, it's just, and that's why it feels authentic, and that's why it often feels good. But it just is all, it's in everything. Yeah. All right, let's do our Grand Media Reses. Then let's talk about it. My Grand Media Res is actually the scene where Billy Crystal and when Harry and Sally are talking about high maintenance and low maintenance. Because
when they're watching Casablanca.
Because this movie invented that phrase.
Seriously?
And it became, yes, I looked it up because I was like, because sometimes when I'm watching old movies, I'll be like, I wonder if this is the first time someone has actually said this, and then it just became popular. And just became a constant phrase.
Oh,
and
wow.
this movie invented the concept of, like, high maintenance, low maintenance person.
Wow.
And that's my Grim Meter Resistance,
Oh my
because when I
God.
found that out, I was like, yay! I love whenever I see that.
That's really
I love when I
cool.
find that out. So that's my Grim Meter Res.
That is truly a testament to the popularity of this movie at the time.
And the writing.
Sense.
Well, Valentina, do you want to do your Grim Meter Res?
Yeah, okay, so I kind of have two. I have like, yeah, I kind of have two.
as well.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. So my first one, I'll say this one first, is that is after the housewarming scene where Jess and Carrie Fisher are moving into the new apartment, and Harry and Sally have the fight outside, and they like reconcile pretty quickly. And Jess comes out with the coffee table, like, I don't want to talk about it. And he's just carrying this massive, like, wagon wheel coffee table that is awful and hideous.
Oh, ugly.
It's so ugly. And he's just carrying it, and he's like, I don't want to talk about it. After, like, we've seen, like, one argument happen, but we haven't seen the other, like, inside of the apartment happening.
There was a discussion.
And I love it. It's just, we already got both sides of the argument, so we don't need to see the full argument, and we just need that button of, like, that brings Harry and Sally back into reality after they've had this very important moment in their friendship and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
I hate
my
when movies
other
put too much in.
Yeah, absolutely. My other is, honestly, the whole last New Year's Eve scene.
It's so beautiful.
Where I am crying and sobbing and grinning just as much as Meg Ryan is as Billy Crystal is giving her that speech. And it's so beautiful. And then they kiss and the music, it's just
good. I mean, they acted the hell out of that scene.
Yeah.
It's so
and it feels so
intimate.
real, and like everything that Harry mentions in that monologue, you feel like there is a moment that you can see it happening in the actual movie where like he mentions her ordering and stuff, and he hates it at the beginning of the movie, and then by the time the halfway point where like they've had the turning point in their relationship of the New Year's Eve scene and stuff, the first New Year's Eve, we're at the double date
where they become friends and they become
and at the double date scene, Harry points out Sally's ordering, and he's like, she orders, you have to see how this woman orders, she orders it like better than the chef ever knew that it would turn out or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that scene is just like, it calls back everything that hasn't been called back up to that point so far. Yeah. And it's just perfect. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I love it. And I'm like, I've seen this movie maybe 30 times, and I am still crying at the end of that movie.
So great. It's the best rom-com.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a true, like, there's true romance in it, but it's also like true comedy, where like other rom-coms are like, let's try to be funny, but let's more be like very wacky and hope it works.
Yeah.
This one's like actually funny.
And that's the reason that I have a printed screenplay of it, where I want to write rom-coms. So like I wanted to study this movie.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
My moment is, I have two. The first one is when they're riding in the car together from Chicago to New York, and Harry like turns around and he like fully like grabs a full handful of like thick grapes.
Grapes
with seeds, and then he's like, "Do you want one?" She's like, "Ew, no."
With a hand of loose grapes.
Loose hand, and then he eats one, and then he spits it out the window, and the window's closed. And it hits
so you
the
just
window.
see like the splatter on the window.
And he doesn't even wipe it or apologize. He just lowers the window.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, sorry."
He's like, "Oh, I guess I'll roll down the window."
Yeah.
And it's a hand crank, so yes,
Yeah.
it's like really some time.
He's like, and then the rest, he doesn't stop eating the grapes. He eats them for the duration of the drive.
Yeah.
They're there the whole time. So, like, that's, like, my, like, immediate, like, oh, buckle up, Emily. This is going to be funny. And then,
Yes.
and then
Buckle up.
I like when he talks about, like, when he's talking with Sally, and I think they're on the phone, he's like, sometimes, like, I don't go to bed. I just sit there and I groan. Or, like, he goes, I moan or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they hang up, and he's like, like, it shows him moaning for a little bit. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
He does it for so long.
Yeah, that was
It's really
long
good.
too.
He didn't
Then it
have
fades
to
out.
keep up the bit, and he's doing it just for himself.
Yeah. I think that's really nice. Yeah. And also, like, when he mentions about the book earlier, like, in the movie, like, when he's like, I usually read the last page of the book because I don't want to die and not know the ending. And he does that later in the movie before Sally calls him or something. He's, like, looking at the book, and then he turns to the end, and then she calls, and it's, like, sort of, like, a nice little, like, wink, wink. So I like that. I like the little moments like that throughout the movie. They're like, I remember.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like really smart as a viewer. Where
Yeah,
like,
to catch
no
stuff.
one
I
else
remember.
knows this.
I know that character consistency.
Yeah.
And anything with Carrie Fisher. I have like 10.
Oh, I know. She's so good.
My favorite, like, he's never gonna leave her is like, he's never gonna leave her, is he? And then Sally or Meg Ryan she's like, you've never met my boyfriend, and it hasn't like thrown us apart or anything like that. And he goes,
Right.
if he ever leaves his wife and I ever get the chance to meet him, then yeah, sure, I guess it would drive us apart. And then she's like, he's never gonna leave her. And then she goes, of course he's not.
I know.
Yeah, I really like that.
And that's the last time she brings up this married guy, because then she's dating Jess.
She meets the other guy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's the best rom-com. It's the best, like, nice feel-good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, Emily, I guess we're nearing the end of our conversation. So I think I'm going to ask Emily first, since she's our guest. Emily, would you recommend this movie?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yes, I would recommend this movie. I feel like this movie could play if you're having a little small party or something. This movie could play in the background of your small little party, and then someone go, "Who is that? That looks like a nice, fun movie." It's New York. It's fall.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Maybe it's like you could sit down and watch it if you wanted to. This is like the coolest party you've ever been to.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing
I feel
sweaters.
Yeah.
It has to be playing, and like it has to be like you invited like 2 friends over, and you're like, oh my god, like they're really close like this, and like it's like happening right before your eyes as you're watching the movie.
And it's like a
feel
big
like-
party, and they're the only 2 that actually sit down and watch the entire thing.
Yeah, and you're like, guys, I made quiche.
Oh god. This was my first time watching this movie, and I loved it. It was just so nice. It was just so, and it wasn't like
It's
nice.
really
It wasn't
nice.
nice as in like
Oh, that's a nice
soft.
movie.
It was nice as in it felt good in my
cozy.
brain and in my eyes
Yeah.
and in my body. I just loved watching it. I feel like I would want to watch this on like it's not your third date, but it's your third time to like sit down and watch a movie with the new
The new boy.
boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
That feels ideal, even though I have no idea.
I watch this movie every New Year's Eve.
Aww.
Really?
It's like a great New. If you're not doing anything, like, I mean, I've been invited to like a lot of parties. But I choose to stay home.
You turn them all down. I know.
I was like, I gotta watch. They go, oh, I know what you're gonna say, and I go, yeah, I gotta watch When Harry Met Sally. They go, can you
Yeah.
come after? And I go, it's actually an all day extravaganza. So
It is actually funny that you watch this movie on New Year's Eve, because I've seen, growing up, I saw Sleepless in Seattle on Christmas like 3 Christmases in a row.
oh really?
Yeah.
These are nice, like, cozy December movies for the
Absolutely.
holidays.
They're like,
and stuff.
oh, it's cold and raining outside or snowing or whatever.
Like, I just
want
wanna
to
feel like
world,
warmth
and
in
you
my
just want to
heart.
feel nice.
It's perfect for the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
I think of Meg Ryan. It's
Yeah.
Christmas
But yeah,
cheer.
But yes, of course, I recommend this movie as well. I recommend this movie to literally anybody who wants to feel good at any point in their life. It is truly
If
the
you don't like this movie,
ultimate like comfort
you're dumb.
movie.
yeah, you're dumb.
Can we all
Yeah.
say, if you don't like this movie, you're dumb.
You're dumb.
You're dumb.
Well, thank you so much for being on this podcast, Emily.
You're welcome.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm really happy that I got to
Yeah.
experience this movie and then talk
This
about
is
it.
gonna
with
be
you guys.
your worst podcast. This is gonna be your
No,
longest
it's not.
and your most nonsensical, because a lot of crazy
It
things
is
happen.
definitely not our longest podcast. I'm looking at the
Yeah.
the recording time right now. It's not our longest, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
feel like
yes,
I,
thank
like,
you, Emily, for
plowed
being our
over
first
everything.
guest.
Yeah.
It was a bad first guest, but I love my friends, and I wasn't busy.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
I
Just
love my
kidding.
friends.
Please ask me to do anything ever, and I will. I love doing things.
But yes, Emily, thank you so much for being our first guest.
Thanks for having me.
Emily, would you like to plug your social media or anything?
I'm on Twitter at
can
Emily
say it if you
Wirth,
want.
WIRTH 22, my favorite number, and the number of angels. So that's my Twitter.
There's only 22
Okay.
angels.
That's the angel's number. If you look at a clock at night and you see it's 11:22, that's good luck.
Okay, well,
Really?
Valentina.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I looked it up because I scared myself. So
Okay.
the internet said it was good luck.
Well, thank you, Emily, for being our first guest. You can find her social media in the show notes in the description. Please follow us at PLS Like This Pod.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, next episode is
Yeah.
a Muppet Christmas Carol, or what is it? The Muppet Christmas Carol.
Next week,
The
next episode is the
shittiest
Muppet.
Christmas
You
movie.
shut your dumb mouth. This is a Mark Burns pick that I watched with Emily Wirth,
Dumbass
and I
movie.
turned it off because she doesn't know quality.
It's like,
Baby.
who's the main guy in it? They like trapped him there.
Oh, are you out of your mind? He loved that.
Loved it.
Michael Caine? Is that what? He's like,
Michael
"Oh,
Caine
Emily."
had the best day of his damn life. Nuh-uh.
Get me
Emily,
outta here.
you are trash. Get out of this podcast. Bye.
Okay,
End
well,
recording.
Emily, you're just gonna have to listen to the episode to see if I liked it. Okay.
Okay. I bet you're gonna like it because you guys have no taste.
Okay, I think we're dead.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Please like this. Please like this. Please like this.